growth. It's one of those things that everyone goes through, and one of those things that is inevitable in life. Hopefully, some people don't grow, but when you do grow and mature as a person, you become something better, the best you. And one series that I've, lived with a while and has definitely changed and grown over time is God of War. And to put in perspective, this game series I've been playing since high school, and I as a person have grown, as well as, the series of God of War. And God of War Ragnarok, which we'll be talking about today, is a game that if you told me when I first played it all the way back in high school that God of War will eventually make you feel sad and tear up and cry at points and will make you generally care about these characters more than you've cared about many other characters, I would call bullshit. But it has done that. And I don't know how to exactly express it, but hopefully this video will do that. So, let's begin. So, as of the recording of this video, I have beaten God of War Ragnarok, and specifically beat it last week of the recording of this. So I've had a week to sit upon it and think and digest what it is that this game has done. And it is kind of remarkable that the amount of growth that this series has done and has shown, and I actually find that pretty great. So, context-wise, there we go. I have been playing God of War, like I said, since, I want to say like 16, 17, and I am now 28. So, I have been doing that for at least 12 to 11 years. And the amount of growth that game series has done has also, shown a little bit in my life and the experience that has that. Because the main thing that, the two different sagas of Greece and Norse have shown is that your younger years do not have to define your older years. And Kratos, at the end of God of War, granted, again, I've only played the 1, 2, and 3. I've never played Chains of Olympus, Ascension, or Ghost of Sparta. So, just those 3 games. And, God of War 2018 and Ragnarok. And these games, when I first played them, were just kind of turn your brain off and go. And having this sort of, growth is crazy. But it also shows remarkable storytelling. So a good example of that is life in general. Kratos at the end of God of War 3 was just angry and finally decided to end it all, and he destroyed Greece. At the beginning of God of War 2018, though, Kratos is an old man who has now another kid that he wants to stay safe and, not end up like his other kid. And just essentially is him trying to do better and him grappling with the, consequences of what he did in Greece. And by the end of that game, the 2018 was just him trying to go to the tallest peak in the realm to, spread his wife's ashes with his son. And it is so crazy. And then God of War Ragnarok is essentially the consequences of what happened in that game, but in a very different way. Because throughout both of those games, you think that at some point Kratos will be going on a murderous rampage, but he doesn't. In fact, by the end of both of those games, he's only killed specifically 3 gods in the Norse pantheon. And that's it. Like, Kratos through Greece killed everything. Well, almost everything, except I don't think he killed Aphrodite. I think he did it. But, yeah, he did. But it's an interesting type of thing because it just shows growth as a person, and also understanding that rage isn't everything in life. And that vengeance doesn't always get the results that you want. And even him telling and showing Frey in God of War Ragnarok, and also like trying to just be a better person. And I love that. I love the fact, like, throughout the Norse saga, that it is him just trying not to be who he was, trying to be better, trying to be someone that he could have only dreamed of while he was in Greece, but is fully realized in, Norse. And it's great to see him that way. And it's also great because the characters in, the Norse saga and Ragnarok are fantastic, and I grow to care about them by the end of the game, and I just wish the best for them. And of course, that's not always the case. Some things happen and you can't control that, and you can only control your own actions because of them, which is spoken of. Like, throughout the game, prophecy is a major theme, and Kratos and Atreus are trying to change their prophecy, as well as Odin trying to prevent Ragnarok, as well as just doing other things. But the difference between Odin and Kratos and Atreus is that Odin never truly accepts that he can't change the future, that everything he does is leading up towards the inevitable fate that it is. On the other hand, Kratos and Atreus accept it, but also accept that just because that it says that, they don't need to adhere to it. Their choices are what lead them to it. And if they accept that, then it will go in their favor. And by the end of it, I just found that to be truly fascinating. Because as my own person, I have done and changed things that have definitely shown different outcomes, but at the same time relatively similar. But it has changed me as a person, and seeing that in Kratos and Atreus, and understanding like some things are out of your control, resonated with me as a person that I don't think really other people would or could be that, as it's my own experience. I mean, I know that Ragnarok and 2018 God of War has resonated with fathers because, you are taking care of Atreus and watching him grow into his own man. But for me, it was seeing that they understand that some things are out of their control other than how they react to those things. And that resonated so deeply with me. And also just seeing how the characters have changed throughout the course of these 2 games in the duology of the Norse saga. And I love that. Like, it really shows how much you can affect your life if you just accept some things you can't control, but you can control how you react to them. And also showing what happens if you don't. And all in all, I would say this game is fantastic. Ragnarok is one of those things that I want to say it's like a perfect sequel almost. Like, it is telling the story of growth and understanding and maturing that I feel like sometimes is lost, as well as portraying masculinity in a non-toxic way, because Kratos definitely learned toxic masculinity, and grew and understood that just because you are strong doesn't mean that you have to use your strength to destroy. You can use it to protect, and use it to teach, and use it not as a threat, and use it as a sort of strength, actual strength. And the fact, like, also that throughout the games, Kratos is not being like, yes, you get strong by working out. His strength comes from his focus and his discipline, but also through his ability to adapt and grow as a person. And him going from a murder machine to a murder machine that actually figures out his life and his lot in it. That is where it truly becomes great. And Atreus growing into becoming his own person with Loki, and understanding that some things do not work out, but also growing to be his own person, that he respects his father and his father respects him, and them understanding each other, like understanding all of that things, but also understanding that some things in their life cannot work with each other, but they still love each other. And it is solid. Like, this series went from just turn your brain off and kill all the gods to damn, I got a tear in my eye, and having characters that I truly care about, and a sadness that knowing that sometimes something that gets bigger, the more you take away, it's just the whole. So, yeah. So, that's the end. I just wanted to make this video because I wanted to talk about that one specific theme of God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok, which is growth, and having these characters grow into who they truly are. I could have talked about the combat, which was great. I could have talked about all the abilities you get, all the different things, the different magic and runes and upgrades and all that, but I feel like the main thing about God of War Ragnarok and God of War 2018 is growth as a person and a character. So, yeah. I'll be thinking about this game for a while, because it's definitely recontextualized my view on how sequels should be made, as well as just storytelling in general, and understanding that just because you were young once doesn't mean that you are the same person you were, back then, and can grow. And like I said, I resonated more with that than with Kratos raising a kid, because I don't want children and I don't have children, so that would never resonate with me. But I can understand it a little bit with like my nieces. So yeah. Well, if you enjoyed this video, think about hitting the subscribe button to see more of this bearded face, and the like button so I know that you've liked this kind of video. Yep, that made more sense. Put down in the comments down below if you've played any of the God of War games and what you think about the series in general, or any games that you have played. So, yeah. That's about it. Stay safe out there. Play some video games, read some manga, watch some anime, listen to some banger music, play some D&D. I don't care. You're your own person. But that's it. So, bye.